Hey, hello, my friend. I pray that this finds you well from wherever and whenever you're tuning in. I am posting for a second time today. I think I'm excited because of this new day and this new month. Today, you get two for the price of one. So I was thinking about Jeremiah 29:11. Yeah, that verse that we all love to quote. And it says, "For I know," and this is God speaking, "for I know the plans that I have for you." Some other versions say, "I know the thoughts that I have for you." Not to harm you, but to bless you, to give you a hope and to give you a future. Some versions say to give you an expected end. Another verse in the Psalms says that his thoughts over us, those good thoughts to give us a hope and a future, his thoughts over us are more numerous than the grains of sand on the seashore. In other words, anytime that you come to God's mind, and I would like to suggest to you that you are always on his mind, he's thinking of you with thoughts of love. He's thinking over you with thoughts of acceptance. He's thinking over your life with thoughts of possibility, of a great future. But as I was reflecting on that, I said it's all well and good that God is thinking these amazing thoughts over me. But do you realize that no matter what and how many good thoughts God has over your life, He's not going to impose those thoughts and plans over your life. He's not going to force those thoughts on you. And it hit me that my thoughts over my life have to agree with God's thoughts over my life. God has great thoughts over my life, but the question is, what thoughts do I have for myself over my life? And a lot of times we get in the way of the plans that God has for us because we don't cooperate with Him. We don't think His thoughts over our lives. You know what else God does over our lives? He doesn't just think good things, He speaks great things over your life. He speaks life over your life. He speaks power over your life. He speaks presence. He speaks purpose. He speaks well over your life. But guess what? You and I, we sabotage that because we don't speak life over our lives. We don't align with what He speaks concerning us. And lastly, God is always giving us His goodness. He's always doing good things towards us, if you will, or for us. And again, as much as it's great that God does great things for us, we don't always do good things for ourselves in the choices that we make, in the decisions that we make, in the way we choose to spend our time and our energy, in the way we choose to take care of ourselves and take care of the dreams and the goals and the visions that God has given us. Anyway, I think all I'm trying to say is that Jeremiah 29:11 is true, but it only works when we align with not only what God thinks over us, and we embrace the same thoughts over ourselves, but also align with God, with what God speaks over us by choosing our words and how we talk to ourselves, align with how God talks to us. And finally, God is always kind and does things or allows things in our lives that are for our benefit. And if we will also do the same, be hyper intentional to make choices that are building our bodies, right? Good health choices, choices that are feeding our minds, right? In other words, let's also be kind to ourselves. And when we align with God in His thoughts, in His words, and in His actions towards us, then that great future becomes that much easier to realize. That's it, my friend. Blessings to you until next time.